No shop access? No problem. Today I'm going to show you some common metalworking tools that you can find around the home. So one of the most common things you're going to find around the garage is going to be something like a C-clamp. Now it might not be a C-clamp like this. You might be able to find yourself a pair of vice grips. It might be an old rusty version of this, but it's still going to be useful for holding your project down. Maybe even a pair of vice grips. These are a great way to hold a piece of metal, and almost everybody's got one sitting somewhere around in their garage. And of course, a big old vise. A lot of times these are mounted already to a workbench somewhere, or your neighbor might have one sitting in the yard. You never know where you might be able to find a big bench vise. Another useful tool for metalworking is a hammer. Even if it's a normal woodworking hammer, you'd be surprised what you can do for shaping your metal, and almost everybody's got one. A file and a wire brush. Now you probably are used to the electric version of this, and only so many of us like to use a file. But if you can round some of these up, you can clean up your metal, you can shape it, and you can do a lot more. Hacksaw. So this thing is definitely the slow version of how to cut metal, and if you're used to using a Sawzall or a hydraulic iron worker or something, it's going to seem a little tedious, but this is something you're probably going to be able to actually find in your garage, and it's going to be your thing for cutting metal. A carpenter's square, a tape measure, and a piece of chalk. These three things together can be all you need to do basic layout work. If you haven't used one of these before, you're going to set it flat against a surface, and it's going to give you a nice 90-degree angle. You can also use it as a measuring device. I'm sure all of you guys are familiar with how to use a tape measure, and if you can't find some chalk, a Sharpie, a pencil, just about anything will do the trick. Not all metalworking is about shaping and joining metal. You might find a wrench and some WD-40 are all you need to get a lot done and kill some time. Be careful. Make sure you've got plenty of ventilation when you're using WD-40. It is flammable, so make sure you're away from any flames. And even if you don't have a crescent wrench or adjustable-ended wrench, you can probably find something that could loosen those nuts for you. Safety equipment. If you found yourself a big piece of metal and a hammer, consider wearing a pair of these. Ear protection is sometimes overrated, and I think that it is definitely worth putting on your head. If you can't find a pair of over-the-ear style earmuffs like this, you could use some normal in-ear earplugs, or just wad up a piece of toilet paper and carefully use that as some earplugs. And if you've got something rusty, you grabbed yourself a wire brush or a file and you're ready to clean it up, consider using a particle mask. This one's a little bit overkill. Just a simple white respirator will be fine, and it'll keep that dust out of the air, getting into your lungs, and keep you safe. All right, so all you gotta do is hunt around and find some of these tools, and you'd be surprised what you can come up with. So remember, read the instructions, follow all your safety protocol, keep your safety glasses on, and as always, stay creative.